Welcome back to the Vandy Sports Podcast. I'm Joey Dwyer. She's Elena Morris. We're here at Thompson Bowling Arena after Vanderbilt's 73-64 loss to Tennessee. Vanderbilt traded blows with Tennessee all afternoon and felt like it was in this game. It was 62-62 at one point, but then Vanderbilt went on a 3-minute 16 scoring drought at the end of this game, and really felt like that was the killer for Vanderbilt. Shea Ralph didn't really pinpoint another issue after this game, and it felt like that was really the killer, that 3-minute 16 stretch where Vanderbilt missed some open layups, missed some open threes, and allowed Tennessee to kind of get rolling without its best player. And that was history for Vanderbilt today. I think the size difference was also something notable. Sasha Washington looked a little overmatched at times, still had 8 points, but Camille Pierre fouled out of this game. Kind of shows you the size difference made a big impact in this one. Before we talk more about this game, I want to talk about the Wash House, our presenting sponsor for basketball season. Are you dreading laundry days? It's stealing time to do the things you truly enjoy. Let the laundry professionals at the Wash House take care of that for you with 2 convenient locations in the greater Nashville area. Just drop off your dirty laundry, and our professional attendants can give you back the one thing you can never have enough of, which is your time. Within 24 hours, you can pick up your nicely folded, fresh and clean laundry. Check out www.washhouseclean.com. Stop in today and get your time back. Elena, Vanderbilt falls to 1-37 in Knoxville. Women's basketball, and Shea Ralph still winless here as Vanderbilt's coach. Feels like Vanderbilt was probably closer than it has been a lot of times here, but still falls short. Again, you pinpoint the 3 minutes, or the 3-minute scoring drought at the end of the game, the size mismatch, and some misses from three from Vanderbilt throughout the second half where it felt like those were good looks and kind of just rimmed out. It felt like this game was closer than the score indicated, but again, not close enough.
Yeah, those three-pointers, too, they attempted 24 on the afternoon, so they were trying to live by that three-pointer. Of course, you mentioned the drought at the end of the fourth quarter. That was big. You had it tied at 62 with 4 minutes left, and then you can't score a bucket at the end there. And so that's just a unfortunate way to end the game, although it did feel a little bit closer for Shea Ralph. I know that a couple things that she talked about, the size advantage being one of them. She mentioned that it's not necessarily a disadvantage, but she said it's an opportunity for them to do other things and try to win. They couldn't come up with that today, and so they fall here to Tennessee before heading to South Carolina on Sunday.
Yeah, it felt like today Tennessee was the bigger, faster, and stronger team, but Vanderbilt maybe a little more skilled, maybe a little more talented. Vanderbilt still couldn't quite keep pace with that team. And you mentioned the three ball. I think that's a great point. They're going to have to live and die off the three ball against teams like this, and they're going to see teams like this moving forward that are going to make them do the same thing. Vanderbilt shot, 24 threes at 37%. That should be good enough to keep you in the game, but if Vanderbilt can't rebound, lost the rebounding battle by 10 points tonight, if it can't hit those open shots down the stretch when it really matters, it's going to have a really difficult time. I thought Ayanna Moore was good today. Camille Pierre had a good stretch but fouled out of this game. Aga Magira was really good, hit 2 timely threes, but again, it just wasn't enough for Vanderbilt today. Vanderbilt, I think you kind of see the blueprint for how to beat them. You have switchable size and you have rebounders. Vanderbilt hasn't gotten out rebounded in a few games, but today I think it was pretty clear Tennessee had more size and was able to take advantage of it. I want to bring up Justine Passat again. Made her return to Knoxville today, caught some boos, hit the first 3 of the game, then missed 4 shots in a row, hit the 3 to start the second half, and then again went cold for a little bit. She was okay today. I think Shea Ralph had an interesting answer about her post game, but Elena, what did you think of Justine Passat's return, and again, what did you think of the 3-point battle today?
Yeah, for Justine Passat, of course, coming into an environment like this, I'm sure that's probably way more difficult than you and I can understand. She played her first year of college basketball here, which was last year, before transferring to Vanderbilt, so I'm sure there were a lot of emotions coming into this game, and I think sometimes she wanted to shoot even though it may not have been the best shot at the time because she was trying to maybe prove something against her old team, but of course it's tough to blame her in a situation like that, but lucky enough for her, she'll have another chance to play against Tennessee in Memorial. You talk about one person that I want to bring up is Aga Magira. I know she only had 6 points, and both of them were coming off three-pointers, but those came at huge times. And I feel like that one to end that first half was big, and it brought a lot of energy for Vanderbilt heading into the second half as well.
Yeah, you mentioned a newcomer. I also want to mention their experience and how that was kind of evident tonight. It felt like Vanderbilt, sometimes in past seasons, would get a punch thrown by a team like Tennessee and wouldn't be able to match it, especially with a crowd like this. It was pretty much the whole first deck was full. Second deck had some people in it as well. That's a big crowd that was against Vanderbilt. It was booing Justine Passat every time she touched the ball for a lot of the game. Vanderbilt was still able to kind of respond to what Tennessee threw at it throughout a lot of the day. I think that says something about this team. It says that they have veterans, they have resiliency, and I think that's an intangible that you like to see from a team that's kind of aiming towards the NCAA tournament. It feels like they have a real resume towards that. And they're going to need to be able to come into environments they're not comfortable in and win games and stay with teams like this. And it felt like they showed flashes of doing that, but I don't know if they fully know how to win just based off that scoring drought at the end. The really clutch teams who are going to make deep runs make plays late in the clock, late in games, and Vanderbilt didn't do that today. That's not to say they can't, but I just don't think they're fully there yet.
Yeah, definitely not to say they can't. I know we saw it last week against Auburn. Camille Pierre sealed that at the end, so they definitely have the ability. They just couldn't get it done today. I think that it was difficult because it was a very hostile environment. So I think that, the experience wasn't fully there. Not everybody's played again, in an environment like this, so that'll definitely play a factor down the stretch.
One other thing before we head out, free throw difference. Shea Ralph brought it up, didn't elaborate on it further. I think probably to save herself some money. I don't think she loved the officiating tonight based on the vibe I got from her. I didn't want to follow up on it and take some money out of her pockets, though. I may have been her least favorite media member had I done that. But Tennessee went 17 for 18 from the line. Vanderbilt went 5 for 6. I think a lot of that should probably be attributed to size difference. I don't know that I'm never going to complain about the officials on here unless it's like a last-second play. I think the size difference was a real factor there, and I think Tennessee making 17 of 18 maybe was the difference in this game other than the scoring drought. If Tennessee didn't get to the line so much and didn't make those free throws, I think it's a much, much different game. And if Vanderbilt got to the line more to kind of counteract that, it's a different game. But Vanderbilt, again, was living and dying off the three ball. Tennessee was able to get more points in the paint and was able to kind of take advantage of their size, 38 to 26 points in the paint, kind of reminiscent of Vanderbilt, Mississippi State yesterday, where one team looked much bigger and much stronger on the interior. Sasha Washington's a good player, but isn't that kind of mauler that you saw Tennessee have down low. And I think that was kind of the difference today, was the size, the late scoring run, and the free throw line.
Yeah, I'm sure that Coach Ralph didn't really want to elaborate too much on that, Joey, but I know she did mention that, and just stating a fact that they did not shoot a single free throw in the second half. So all 6 of those attempts did come in the first half. And to follow up, Sasha Washington, she's a terrific player, but doesn't quite have the size of a center in the SEC. She stands at 6'2", and I know Shea Ralph has said multiple times that she trusts Sasha to go up against bigger players, but sometimes it's just a little bit more difficult. So that size advantage definitely played a factor today.
Yeah, another thing, turnovers. I think Vanderbilt had too many of them, had 15. They actually won the turnover battle today. That was less. The thing that I say about the turnovers, it wasn't a crazy number like they've had in the past with 25 or 21 on Thursday. Today, I think a lot of them were really, really avoidable. And that's where I kind of have an issue with the way they turned it over. You saw Jordan Cambridge just kind of dribbled it out of bounds in the backcourt at one point. I think Sasha Washington dropped one, or there was a few travels by Washington, a few travels by other people. Elena, they just didn't really take care of the ball the way you would have thought they would have. I think Shea Ralph was probably unhappy with some of the traveling calls. Iona Moore also had 3 turnovers. But you got to be able to cut down on those kind of unforced, uncontested turnovers, and I think that was another difference today. Vanderbilt, I think, played really well for a lot of this game, but you could kind of see some of the little things were starting to build up for them. Every Vanderbilt team is going to have to win in the margins. And this team has done a tremendous job of that recently, but they didn't defend at the level today. They didn't have the size to be able to lose in the margins, and that kind of got them down the stretch. Vanderbilt falls to 17-3, 4-2 in the SEC as it goes to South Carolina on Sunday. It'll be a really difficult road test for them, and it's a tough 5-game stretch coming for them. We'll see if Vanderbilt can get 1 or 2 here and show us that they're really legit. I think they've shown us that they're a good team. We'll find out if they're a great team in the next few weeks, and it's an exciting proposition to listen to that, but I think there's a big test coming for this team, and we'll see it moving forward. Thank you guys for watching. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.